Hey y'all, this is Cowboy Greg from Single Oak Farm in Trinity, North Carolina, and today Jackie and I are going to ride the battlefield at Gettysburg National Military Park. We are staying at Artillery Ridge Campground. It's just right across the street from the battlefield, which most of y'all know in Gettysburg, most everything around Gettysburg, including parts of town, were part of the battlefield. So we're going to check out the trails at the battlefield, and I think there's like 13, 14 miles of trails at Gettysburg. So we're going to check that out, and y'all just hang on. Remember, hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll be right back. Okay, so as we're riding out from the horse area, that's the pavilion, and you'll make a left here, and they do have trail markers going through the campground. We, got to respect the campground. You're not allowed to really take them into camp. This is the trail markers and coming out of camp, so you'll follow these till you get to the battlefield. Anyway. You'll go up this way, and this is where the rental barn is. So like I said, you'll come up here past the office. There's Artillery Ridge Campground. It's a busy little road at times, so you gotta, horses may need to be a little road savvy. Up here's where we'll cross the road and enter the battlefield. But actually technically we are on the battlefield because the field was all across here. Artillery Ridge was called that because that's where they kept their artillery. But we're going into the national, I guess it's national park, anyway, military park. So here we are. We are officially riding Gettysburg. We've been waiting to do this for quite some time. There's Jackie and Willow coming in, and just imagine the men along the stone walls here, riding and marching in columns across these fields. It really makes you stop and think. I think seeing it by horseback is just way different than walking it in person.
Like an Irish volunteer, then raise the harp of Erin, boys, the flag we all revere. We'll fight and fall beneath its folds like Irish volunteers. Then raise the harp of Erin, boys, the flag we all revere. We'll fight and fall beneath its folds like Irish volunteers. When I was driven from my home by an oppressor's hand, I cut my sticks and greased me brogues and came o'er to this land. I found a home and many friends and some that I loved dear. Whichever I'll stick to them like bricks in an Irish volunteer. Then fill your glasses up, me boys, and drink a hearty cheer to the land of our adoption and the Irish volunteers. Then fill your glasses up, me boys, and drink a hearty cheer to the land of our adoption and the Irish volunteers. Now when the volunteers, God bless the name of Washington, and English land revere.
like about Gettysburg more so than Manassas is the trails take you a lot closer to the historical sites that and the battlefield things than what we saw in the short time at Manassas anyway. Alright, so this is the horse trailer parking lot. Alright, they've got a few hitching posts around here, and I guess you pull up and would back in between these spots. Like I said, there's a few people here already. But it's a pretty big parking lot. And then you could just ride out from here. They do have porta potties over that way. So, all right. It's going to be hard to tell, but from here we are looking at Little Round Top. You can see all the rocks and everything all the way across this field and in the distance, and then to the right of that is Big Round Top. And so anyway, you'll be able to see Little Round Top and Big Round Top a lot better. Okay, so off in the distance straight in front of us is Little Round Top. You can see the rocks and the monument, and then here to the right of that is Big Round Top. All right. Okay, so as you cross the one road, that will be Little Round Top up in the distance, like up here. And then this is Big Round Top. And over this way are the Texas Monument and Robertson's brigades. Monument, I believe. Not sure about the Robertson one, but Texas is that way. Raining on us. I don't think the hard stuff's gonna come down for quite some time yet. Oh well, out of all the days we've been riding, this is the first one we've got caught in the rain like this, and naturally we didn't take our rain slickers. All right, so this is our site here at Gettysburg. We are on 320. Now something we learned about 320 is when you hook up to the water at 320, you have to go to 319 to turn your water on. Kind of strange sounding, but that's the way it is. Now we knew they were calling for a lot of rain this week, so we upgraded from this corral. This is like a double corral. We would have put both our horses in here, but because they were calling for so much rain, we opted and we were able to upgrade to box stalls. Really glad we did, because they've been in this mess for the past couple days at another campground, which, you know, it's rain, it's weather, nobody has control over that, but we wanted to get them out of the mud and the muck and onto a dry situation. So the sites are pulled through here, very nice. They have water, electric, and sewer. Very nice. There's some other, look like some barrel racers here this weekend also. And actually this is Wednesday morning, so we're in the middle of the week here. But they have other, they have a riding ring here. Up above the riding ring is a little dog park. Very nice, kind of cool place. You just let your dog run loose. They have other paddocks behind these few sites here. And we'll walk up here to the box stalls and I'll show you those. These are some of the other paddocks. There's the barrel racers horses. And now these sites here are, you know, like the back end of these sites. But they're a lot smaller for more of a pop-up maybe, or a small travel trailer. Now they do have cabins for rent here. I didn't tell you that, but up there they have cabins to rent. So if you just come in with a bumper pool, they rent yourself a cabin and throw your horses in a box stall down here and you'll be good to roll. Now, like I said, we've had a lot of rain, so it's a little wet and muddy down here, but oh, there's Willow. Look, Willow's happy. She says, I'm happy and dry in here. Huh, so you happy and dry, Willow? Nice 12 by 12 box stalls, maybe a little bit bigger. There's Stella. Got an itch this morning, don't you, girl? All right, well, scratchy itch. Good girl there. They're not dry shavings, but you got all the shavings you want to put into, good pine shavings that you want to put into your stalls. There's more box stalls down that way, but like I said, they have, I don't know how many here, but several. There's a wheelbarrow down there by the shavings, and there's water about midway down there around that blue sign, but there's also water right here on this end. They do have lights inside the stalls, and outside the stalls there's a switch right beside Willow's head there. So that's nice. I was down here last night about 11 o'clock checking on them and throwing them, making sure they had extra hay and water. I don't know. Well, I guess maybe these might be, I don't know. I don't think, those are probably cabins too, I guess, and they just call them a saddlery, Circle K saddlery and mercantile. But anyway, that's kind of cool looking little cabins look like. So hey, you could probably rent you one of those and be right here at your horses in the box stalls. Now from our site down that way, we're going to walk up here to the bathhouse, and they have a laundry room up here also. Okay, so this is a first for me. I'm just a country boy, but I've never seen a firewood vending machine before. Looks like it takes credit card or cash, and 24/7 access to firewood. So there you go. And so like I said, here's the bathhouse and the laundry room. All right, so laundry room got what, about four machines, 4 washers, 4 dryers, folding station, basket to move your stuff around in. Fairly clean in here, and we used it yesterday. We had a lot of dirty laundry from the past few days. Everybody's in here, so just a quick shot of the men's. And this is the men's side. There's shower stalls. And so also up here on the hill, they have miniature golf, which is free. That's kind of cool. Got a few more cabins here. There's a handicap accessible, I think those are cabins, I guess. Huh. Yeah. Okay, double doors for handicap. Makes it more easy for handicapped people with a ramp. Cool. You know, nice pavilion. And on the other side of the pavilion is the pool area. All right, so here's the pavilion area. Really nice. Nice little breeze going here. I guess maybe during a little bit colder weather. Beautiful fireplace down there on the far end down there. Very nice. Beautiful place. There's access to your cornhole bags and golf balls for miniature golf. May have to hit that later. All right, well, let's see. Yeah, the pool doesn't open. This is about 8 o'clock in the morning. The pool doesn't open until 9, but they got a splash pad for the kids and a heated swimming pool. This swimming pool is heated. So we're going to try to hit that thing yet before we get out of here. Maybe we'll get a chance to relax. Today we're doing some sightseeing. There's and around Gettysburg, I believe, and then tomorrow I think we're going to ride the battlefield. We're giving our horses a day off. They've had some hard riding lately. And down there's a pond, and I believe you can fish in that pond. I believe you're allowed to, from my understandings. So one of the nicer campgrounds I've ever stayed in. One of the nicest. It is the nicest equestrian campground I've ever stayed in. Okay. Most of the time, you know us, most of the time we're in the back country and we're going primitive, but you know, we've stayed in a few equestrian campgrounds that have been nice, but not this nice anyway. And the people were very helpful and friendly when we rolled in last night and we asked to upgrade to box stalls. They didn't have a problem at all with it. They you know, it took them a little bit, but they found us some box stalls to put our horses in. The equestrian center, rental stables, I guess you would call it. Not sure. I'll get the name of it and post it, but they are really not officially associated with the campground. It's just that they're that close together, side by side. And but you can come stay here, rent horses, and ride the battlefield with a guided tour. So that's very cool. All right, y'all, so we finished up our ride at Gettysburg, and I have to say we really enjoyed it. I cannot tell you, something about riding that battlefield on horseback gives you a completely different perspective of the battlefield and what went on there those 3 days in July. We were here in mid-June, and like I said, it was a good ride. I would recommend really spraying your horses down good with fly spray and taking some extra fly spray with you. We were fighting the green-headed horsefly, something horrible on this ride, but we did the whole 13 miles, I think, and they do have a day parking lot also that you can come and park out for the day, or you can even park for a day ride straight out of Artillery Ridge. As far as Artillery Ridge Campground goes, fantastic campground, one of the nicest places we've ever stayed. Really super nice. We had a campsite that had a double paddock right behind our trailer, so we could have kept our horses there. Now we opted to put them in stalls just because it was going to rain while we were there, and they had already been in the mud for the past few days at Fort Valley Ranch. So we decided to get them out of the mud and upgrade the stalls, and the stalls are super nice. There's water conveniently located. They have lights. You can just flip a switch and have lights out there at your stall. And they have a bunch of stalls. I'm going to say they have at least 20 or more stalls, plus several paddocks right around there. You could come and rent a cabin and put your horses in stalls or paddocks from renting a cabin. They offer free shavings for your stalls while you're there, which was super nice. And yeah, just can't say enough. A camp store well stocked, a lot of things in their camp store. Heated swimming pool. The heated pool was heated, nice swimming pool and splash pad area for the kids. Laundry room at the bathhouse, nice big bathhouse. Mike could have used a little cleaning while we were there, but other than that, all in all, it was pretty nice. And I would highly recommend doing this ride if you're in the area or something. It was a lot of fun. You know, we spent a day or two sightseeing in town, going to museums and things like that in Gettysburg. So that was fun. We're kind of history geeks like that, so this was really a great trip for us. We've been wanting to do this one for quite some time. And so like I said, it was, all in all, it was a great trip, great campground. And they even at the campground, they have food trucks and different vendors there on the weekend. I would suggest going during the week, though. The crowds are a lot less, not as many people in the campground, and in my opinion, it just makes it a little bit nicer to be there during the week when it's not so crowded. But other than that, I would definitely, we've already talked about possibly going back again and maybe taking horses, maybe not, we're not sure yet, but definitely we'll be heading back that way sometime. So y'all just remember, hit that like and subscribe button. Y'all be good to one another, and y'all do something nice for somebody. This is Cowboy Greg from Single Oak Farm in Trinity, saying bye.